Hey everybody. So this is episode 4 of China to Utah, and I just have a quick thing to share today. I was just talking with someone about this morning, and that kind of confirmed that this is what I'll answer. So I've had a couple of people ask me about our yard, like because they had kind of heard a little bit of a funny story about this. So I may have mentioned that kind of the American dream in our mind, at least part of it, in terms of physical things, was the house, a yard, and a dog. That these are kind of just wonderful things that you have in America. And so we have the house, holding off on the dog because that's another expense, and I'll do another episode about that. But the yard was kind of an interesting one, and it shows how little we really knew about how housing works. So when we had our home built, I just had the assumption that the builder would plant some grass, right? That there would be a yard involved. And as we were kind of getting closer to wrapping up the deal and getting closer to the construction being finished and closing time, I happened to ask our salesperson, who's become a friend, I was like, so Tony, when are they gonna put the grass in? And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, well, the grass, like I noticed they haven't done anything, it's just still dirt. Like, when are they gonna kind of get on that? And he was like, they're not gonna plant grass for you. Like, we build you a home. You want, you'll have to hire a landscape architect or landscaping company for the grass. And I was like, no, I'm not talking like some fancy, fountain or grand design. I'm just talking like regular grass. And he was like, yeah, like all of it. That goes through a landscaper. I was like, oh, wow, bummer. That's like a whole other expense that we weren't planning on, but okay. So I talked to a few people, got some estimates, and learned that it is very expensive. It's not just planting grass, like throwing down some seeds or even laying down the strips, because once I realized that I was gonna have to pay someone to do this, I kind of started researching it and thought, well, I could do that. I could level this, rent one of those, what do you call them? Tillers, break up the dirt, lay down the grass. I can do that. And then talk to someone and they're like, no, like especially here you have to have the sprinklers first. And this isn't sprinkler like, in my day in the 80s, like you plug in a little sprinkler, the hose and, yeah, it's like underground sprinklers, and there are pipes and systems, and it's kind of complicated. So anyway, to just put grass, so put basic sprinklers and grass just in our front yard, nobody quoted less than $5,000 for grass. Then if you want to add that same, grass and sprinklers to the backyard and the side yard and the other side yard, the backyard's a lot bigger than that, so 20, 25, 30,000. Then if you want to, have a little flower garden, or you want to do a little path, or you want to maybe do a fence, yeah, it just adds up. So that was kind of a funny little learning curve and thing that, you just don't want to assume things. So we explained to the kids that we're not getting a yard in any sense this year, and we'll see how things go in the spring. But so they and we've gotten to learn patience and sort of delayed gratification. We've watched the neighbors put in their stuff, and we're happy for them. And we just have said, yeah, that's not going to be our thing yet, but we look forward to the time we can afford to do that. So that's my latest little tidbit on China to Utah, and something I didn't realize wasn't included when you build a home. Now, having said that, we're super happy with our home, so that's nothing against the builder. Like, I think to everybody else, it's sort of obvious and common knowledge that grass doesn't come with the house. But for me, it wasn't. So now I know. And I just want the snow to come and cover up all the dirt. And maybe by the time the snow melts, I'll be able to afford some grass. We'll see. Have a good one, guys.